Hello, folks, and welcome to Hippie in a Race Car. I'm not actually doing any racing this time. I wanted to talk about racing gear. The clothing you wear when you're sim racing. I don't mean in a real race car. Those guys have got all their stuff, they've got the proper gear. I'm talking about sitting in a sim racer, in a, like in my case, I got a big comfy chair that my rig hooks up to, or it might be an office chair, it might be your couch, whatever it is. Do you need specific clothing? Now, obviously, it's a matter of choice, it's a matter of personal preference. In my case, I needed something for my feet because once I picked up the load control module for the Fanatec set, it was a lot harder to press the brake. And after about a half a lap, my left foot started to hurt. And I thought, well, I'll wear shoes. Well, my sneakers have the big soles, like most sneakers do. And the pedals were close enough together that they actually started to hook on each other. It was a real pain in the butt. So I thought, okay, what else can I look at? What can I get? Obviously, real race shoes are very form-fitting. They're beautiful and slim. And I thought, okay, what is like that? So I started looking online and I came up with what I think are called silhouette shoes. Puma makes an absolutely lovely version of them. These are what I wear. Size 10, super thin. I actually bought them because of a bad review. The review was, they're super comfortable and they fit so well, but I can feel everything I walk on. Sold! Because that's what I wanted. I wanted to be able to feel the pedals. I wanted something that was comfortable, that was thin, that wasn't going to bind on each other when I'm driving. These work absolutely brilliantly. I've now picked up a second pair because the old ones were so comfortable, I just wore them everywhere and I wore them out. I got these on sale. I think I paid about $40 for them. Canadian. I live in Canada. So if you're in the US, that's about 28 bucks. Definitely an excellent deal. Or you can give in to your super geek and buy something like this. AMG Petronas limited edition silhouette shoes, again from Puma. Same size, only these ones have an insole. And they unfortunately did not account for the extra height with the insole, and so they squish my feet, and I can't really wear them. I can a little bit, but I can only wear them for a while before my feet start getting a little bit uncomfortable. But I mean, look at this shoe. I mean, come on. This is the most beautiful thing I think I've ever bought in shoes. And they're still in perfectly good condition because I really don't wear them. So they're on display in my house, and I love them. But this was the Super Geek. And I think I paid 70 bucks for these because they were at the end of their life, being discontinued, on sale, 50% off, and I had a 10% off code, and they all stacked. So I paid about $70 for what I consider one of the sexiest shoes I have ever seen. Okay, now we protected my feet. I found out about 6 or 8 months ago that in driving, I was starting to get blisters, especially when I was doing rally racing, because you're doing a lot of that. And right in here, from being in the steering wheel, I was starting to get blisters. I was starting to get sore points. And I thought, okay, well, let's pick up some gloves. I looked into racing gloves because you see sim racers wearing them. And I thought, okay, $400? Ha! Not on my budget. Again, I needed something that would protect my hands. And I needed something that was thin enough that I could still push all the buttons and use all the levers and all the rest of it. So, again, jumped online, started doing a little bit of checking, asked a few opinions of a bunch of other sort of people, and cycling gloves. Without a doubt, one of the best investments I've made in sim racing because they fit perfectly. They're not too long. There's no extra. They're not too short. They fit my hands extremely well. Form-fitting, super thin, good grip. You've even got the doohickey on the index finger so you can use your cell phone. Not that I recommend texting and driving, even in a sim race, but absolutely wonderful, and I don't get blisters. And I can still do all the things that I would normally need to do when I'm racing. So again, it comes down to personal opinion, personal preference, and what you need, and your budget. If you can afford it, go ahead. Spend $400 on a pair of gloves and another $400 on a pair of boots. Go for it. If you can afford it and you want it, do it. I can't. So I said, okay, $40, $35, and I'm set. My feet are protected, my hands are protected, and sim racing becomes a lot more fun. So, lots of choices available. Do a little research, check out what's available. If you're interested in picking up some gloves, cycling gloves do the job brilliantly. If you want a pair of shoes, you see a lot of sim racers, they don't have the same load control module setup that I've got, and they're in stocking feet. And whatever, gas, brake, no big deal. Not as much force feedback. I like more realism, so this thing actually fights me a bit. At the end of a 15 or 20 lap race, I'm sweating. Not just because I'm nervous and I'm not a very good driver and I'm trying desperately to keep up, but because this thing is really fighting me and I'm having to hold it around corners, which I enjoy. More realism, but I needed something to protect my hands. So now, in my case, there are two other things that are absolutely essential. One is the crazy clothes, the shirts. I'm a hippie. I mean, what do you want? Look at what I wear. All right? The second one, the hat. Because let's face it, you really have to have the right hat if you're going to be a hippie in a race car. Thanks for joining me. I hope this was helpful and educational. If you have any questions, stick them in the comments down below and I'll do my best to answer them. In the meantime, have an awesome day. Peace.